Hello and welcome, CICS Exploratory Track students. It feels like we just got back to campus to resume in-person learning this fall, or at least it feels that way to me. So it's kind of hard to believe that it's almost time to think about registration for the spring 2022 semester. But here we are. I wanted to make a video presentation specifically geared towards you, students in the CICS Exploratory Track, to help prepare you for your pre-registration meeting that you'll be having with me in the next few weeks. So really, I guess you could call this a pre-registration video, but it'll be important for you to watch so that you're prepared to have a productive meeting with me. These meetings will be short, so we want to make sure it's productive, and then of course, to register for your classes. So what we're going to cover here will be the following: a brief introduction of me as your advisor and of advising's role in the pre-registration and registration process, a review of the CICS major programs and the application process to get into these programs, an overview of what you need to do to prep for spring 2022 registration, and next steps. We'll be focusing on the major program in CS, but if you're interested in the CS or IT minors, I would suggest that you look up information on these programs online on the CICS website and email me if you have any questions. First of all, who am I? Hi, I'm Casey Heyman. For many of you, we've already met, but since you're a student in the CICS Exploratory Track, I am your assigned academic advisor. As your advisor, my role is to help you navigate the major selection process and narrow your academic focus. For many of you, that'll mean helping you through the process of applying to the computer science major, but even as we do that, I also want to help you explore other options and backup or plan B major plans, because we don't want to see you end up in a spot where the computer science major doesn't work out for you and you're left without a viable major option that you can declare and complete in time. So my ultimate goal as your ET advisor is to help you declare a major, whether that be a CS major or something else. So part of that process of major exploration and of pursuing majors within CICS is, of course, helping you to register for classes, and that's where this pre-registration video and where our pre-registration meeting will come in. If you've logged into Spire recently, you may have noticed that you have an advising hold on your Spire account. When you log into Spire and land on your Student Center page, you will see holds here on the right side of your screen. Holds can get placed on your account for a number of reasons, including advising, but they can also be placed on your account by the bursar's office, or because you haven't completed mandatory health education trainings, or by other offices on campus. It's important then that you log into Spire now as we prepare to think about registering for the spring 2022 semester, and check to see what holds you may have on your account. Click on Details in the Holds box to view any holds and to figure out what you need to do to get them lifted in time to register for classes. If you check your holds and all you have is an advising hold, here's what you need to do to get this hold lifted. First, complete the pre-registration form that's attached to the email that I sent the link to this video in. This video is aimed to help you in completing this form. Then, schedule a one-on-one pre-registration advising meeting with me. Then, bring your completed pre-registration form to your meeting with me, or email it before our meeting if it's a virtual meeting, and we'll review it in the meeting and I will lift the hold. It's going to be important that you do this prep and fill out this form before your meeting with me. The meetings will be 20 minutes long, and so we need to be able to quickly review your pre-registration plan. Now, we're going to briefly review some of the CICS major programs that you may be looking to apply to, as your intended program will help shape the classes you look to register for in spring 2022. First, let's talk about the Bachelor of Science program in Computer Science, a major that I know for many of you is your first major choice. This tracking form might look familiar to you. It's available on the CICS website, and I've included tracking forms in the email I sent with this video. The BS in Computer Science includes 14 computer science courses, including CS 121 and 187, one of which many of you may be enrolled in now, and the 4 200-level CS courses, which some of you may be enrolled in now. It's important to note that of the 4 200-level courses, we have the 2 programming and systems intensive courses, CS 220 and CS 230, and the 2 math and theory intensive courses, CS 240 and CS 250. You can't take both programming intensive courses or both math intensive courses in the same semester. So most students take either 220 or 230 and either 240 and 250 during the semester when they're ready to take those courses. In addition to the CS classes, the major also includes 4 required math courses, 2 major level lab science courses, and 1 junior year writing course. CICS also offers a Bachelor of Arts degree in computer science. This degree path includes 10 computer science courses, 3 required math courses, a 4-course concentration in another discipline that connects to your study in computer science, a junior year writing requirement, and it also has a foreign language requirement. This foreign language requirement can be satisfied by 4 years of foreign language study in high school, or by 4 semesters of college-level foreign language, or by an exemption test offered by the university. You can switch between the BS and BA tracks once you're admitted to the CS major, but the BA degree can be a good option for students doing a double major in CS and another major. In CICS, we also have the informatics major. Briefly, informatics is an applied computer science and data science program that looks at how data is used in an interdisciplinary fashion. As it is an interdisciplinary program, it includes 7 core courses in informatics and CS, 4 courses in a concentration, and 6 electives that bring an interdisciplinary data science perspective. If you're interested in learning more about the informatics major, I would highly recommend exploring their website at www.cics.umass.edu/informatics. For the purposes of thinking about pre-registration for spring 2022, if you're interested in informatics, courses to look into would be Informatics 101, and then courses needed to apply to the major, Informatics 150 and Computer Science 121. And also, if you've taken Computer Science 121, Computer Science 186, or Computer Science 187, this can fulfill the same requirement for informatics. For the application, you need a C or better in Informatics 150 and Computer Science 121, a 2.5 or better cumulative GPA, and to submit an application. If you're interested, I would again encourage you to explore the UMass Informatics webpage. Peer advising in informatics is available, and we have Ernie Brooks and Jazz DeTruch as dedicated informatics academic advisors, in addition to Dr. Michelle Trim, Associate Director of the program. Many of you, I know, are looking to apply to the computer science major, and so I want to take a few minutes to review the application requirements for the major. All of this information can be found at the link below, which is also in the email that I sent with this video. First, the criteria for your first application to the major under Pathway 1 is as follows. You must be enrolled in or have taken Math 132 and Computer Science 187. You must get a B or better in both of these courses. Note that you have to get a B or better in Computer Science 121 in order to move right on to Computer Science 187. If you get a B-, C+, or C in Computer Science 121, then you need to take Computer Science 186 before moving on to Computer Science 187. If you get a C- or below in Computer Science 121, then you need to retake that course. When you apply, you'll receive a confirmation of your application, but then you will have to wait until final grades are out before receiving a final decision. For this reason, it's important, whether you're applying to computer science this semester or in a future semester, to be actively working on your backup major plan. So as I mentioned in the previous slide, to apply under Pathway 1, you must be enrolled in or have taken Computer Science 187 and Math 132. If you've completed either course, your grade in those courses must be a B or better. There are other requirements: a 3.0 or better cumulative GPA during the application semester, a C or better in all classes during the application semester, being enrolled in at least 12 credits during the application semester. And those requirements can be viewed at the link below and in the email that I sent. Math 132 can be AP or transfer credit, but Computer Science 187 has to be completed at UMass Amherst. If you have transfer credit for Computer Science 187, then you would be eligible to apply under Pathway 2. If you do not get in under Pathway 1 or are not eligible to apply, then you are allowed 1 application under Pathway 2. To apply under Pathway 2, you should be enrolled in 1 programming intensive 200 level computer science course, either 220 or 230, and 1 math intensive computer science course at the 200 level, either 240 or 250. The grades required in these courses depend on the grades you received in Math 132 and Computer Science 187, so it's best to check the link below for details on Pathway 2 admissions criteria if you're looking at applying under that pathway. To apply under either pathway, you must submit by the deadline October 1st at 5 p.m. for the fall semester and March 1st at 5 p.m. for the spring semester. These are hard deadlines. No late applications are accepted. So now we're going to move into talking about Spring 2022 registration. As you're thinking about Spring 2022 registration and potentially working towards an application to the computer science major, it's fine to focus primarily on computer science, but we want to encourage you, where possible, to again be exploring other majors and developing backup plans. The next thing you want to be aware of in Spire after your advising hold is your enrollment appointment, which is a specific date and time that is your first opportunity to register for spring classes. So again, back to your Spire Student Center. Here is where you find your enrollment appointment in Spire. Click on Details in the box to see the specific time that you'll be able to register on that date. Your enrollment appointment is based on the number of credits you have, and they roll it out so that every 10 minutes, 50 additional students are eligible to register. So it's especially important that at the exact time and date of your enrollment appointment, you are ready to go in and register. Because of this, we want you to be prepared to log in at the exact time and date of your enrollment appointment so you can have first access to the courses you want. This means not only being logged into Spire at the allotted time, but also doing some pre-research. Having courses in your shopping cart, we recommend 10 or more, including backup sections and courses. Feel free to use Spire or Schedule Builder. You want to have the courses that you want to add prioritized, and you should check ahead of time for restrictions or conflicts. When you search for courses on Spire and you see this yellow Yes box next to a course, click on it to see what the restrictions are. Some of you will be needing to request CICS overrides for courses you want to add for spring. More on that in a minute. But we would recommend that you add at least 3 classes yourself outside of the overrides you may be requesting. You can always swap later. If you're requesting computer science courses numbered 187 and above, you will need to submit CICS override requests at the link below. For the 200 level classes, I would recommend submitting override requests for all 4 classes and listing your preferences in the remarks section. Be sure to leave room in your schedule where possible for the courses you request overrides into. Overrides will not be processed until after final grades are in, so watch your email. The override request forms will go live in mid-November, probably around November 19th. So to take a step back for a moment, regardless of where you're at in the course sequence, you're generally going to want to register for 4 courses, maybe 5, for the spring semester. And these courses will be comprised of computer science courses, math courses, general education courses, and major exploration courses. To get into a little more depth with each of these categories, for computer science courses, depending on what you are currently taking and the grades you get, you may want to take Computer Science 187 if you get a B or better in Computer Science 121. If not, take Computer Science 186. No override will be needed. If you've taken Computer Science 187, then you can request overrides into the 200 level CS courses, and possibly Computer Science 198C, a 1-credit practicum which teaches C programming language that is highly recommended before taking Computer Science 230. Or you can take it at the same time as Computer Science 230. For your math courses, you'll be looking at Math 131, Math 132, or Math 233, multivariate calculus. Math 235, linear algebra, is also an option. For general education courses, you will want to prioritize English Writing 112 or 111 if you haven't taken it already, and one of the diversity, that's DU or DG, general education requirements if you haven't taken one of those already. The university requires you to take one of those diversity gen eds during your first year at the university. To see what other general education courses you still need, you should check your ARR or Academic Requirements Report on Spire. So here's how to check your ARR. On your Student Center page in Spire, select ARR No Shopping Cart from the drop-down menu on the left side of the page. Then, when you get to the ARR page, click Expand All and scroll down to see which general education requirements you've yet to complete. Once you know which general education requirements you're looking for, when you search for classes on Spire, you can then search by specific gen ed categories. In general, I would look for 100 or sometimes 200 level courses, and always when you're looking for general education courses, check restrictions and prerequisites to make sure that you're eligible to register for the class you're looking at. So we've covered computer science courses, math courses, and general education courses. You may also want to look to see what courses there are that could help you explore other major possibilities. This will require you to do some research on your own. If there are other majors that you're potentially interested in, look at their major requirements on their department websites to see if there are any courses that you could take to pursue an interest in that major. If you need any help with this, don't hesitate to be in touch with me, and I can possibly suggest courses or people you can talk to. Finally, while there is the lab science requirement for the computer science major, I generally would not recommend taking your lab science courses as an exploratory track student before you've actually gained admission to the CS major. The reason for this is that the major level lab science courses that fulfill the computer science requirement are difficult courses, and taking them before applying to CS doesn't help your application, and it can hurt it if you take the class and don't do well. However, if one of the lab sciences is a part of your Plan B major, or if you are very confident in your skills in this area, taking a lab science is an option. Once you've searched for these courses and put multiple options in your shopping cart, it's time to complete your pre-registration form and have your one-on-one meeting with me to discuss your registration plan. In the email I sent this video with, there's a link to set up a meeting through Navigate with me. These meetings will take place between October 25th and November 26th. Because I'm trying to meet with all of my advisees one-on-one, these meetings will be 20 minutes long with in-person and virtual options. And because I'm trying to fit a lot of these meetings into a short period of time, it'll be very important that you're on time and prepared for your meeting. Please try to get to the meeting a few minutes early if possible, and bring your completed pre-registration form to the meeting. If you're meeting in person, bring the completed form to our meeting, and if you're meeting virtually, email it to me before our meeting. This pre-registration form is attached to the email I sent, but briefly, here's what it looks like. The form asks you to write out some of the work that I was discussing earlier in this video, like checking your ARR to see what gen eds you have left, checking for holds, checking your enrollment appointment, prioritizing your courses, and checking for prerequisites and whether you need an override. It also asks you to guess at where your grades for your classes this semester stand. Making your best guess is fine, but this could impact your scheduling for the spring, so be honest with yourself about where you stand. During our meeting, I will make any necessary comments on your pre-registration form and sign off on it, and lift your advising hold, making you ready, as long as any other holds have been lifted, to register for spring 2022 courses on the date and time of your enrollment appointment. A couple of reminders as we go forward. It's totally fine if you're primarily focused on the computer science major, but try where you can to explore other majors and departments. You can do this by taking courses that interest and excite you that could count towards other majors, and you can also explore just by doing some research into the requirements for other majors and perhaps going to information sessions if offered, or contacting advising in other departments. Also, while it's important to take English Writing 112 and one of your DU or DG diversity gen eds in your first year, remember that you can take your time with your gen eds. You have plenty of time to take gen ed courses that are of interest to you, and to balance those courses with major focused courses. And as I've been reiterating throughout, develop a backup major plan. We say this because we don't want to see you end up in a situation where the computer science major is not workable for you, but you have no viable backup options in order to graduate on time. In the interest of this, the university requires you to declare a major by the end of your third semester. Declaring a backup major does not mean that you cannot continue to apply to computer science if you still have application pathways remaining. You can declare a backup major, math, just to use an example, and continue to apply or reapply to computer science, and then either drop your other major if you do get into computer science or keep it as a double major. Doing this ensures that you are able to make progress and get advising in a viable backup major even while you're pursuing computer science. So finally, just to recap the pre-registration process. The first step is watching this video and doing some of the work on Spire of checking to make sure you don't have holds and researching course options and putting them in your shopping cart. Then, make a pre-registration appointment with me via Navigate. Again, the link to make that appointment is in the email that I sent this video with. Next, you're going to complete and bring your pre-registration form to our appointment or email it to me ahead of time. I will lift your advising hold after our appointment and after I receive the pre-registration form. Then, Barring any additional holds, you should be ready to register for spring classes on Spire. So you will just need to be online and ready to go at the date and time of your enrollment appointment. In closing then, I hope this video is helpful to you in navigating this process, but please don't hesitate to reach out to me with questions at any point. I'm looking forward to meeting with you soon to talk about spring 2022 registration. Thanks.